March 2018, and 2 soldiers, one American and one British, are killed in Syria. They were there as part of the Western coalition fighting ISIL occupying northern Syria. Initially, US military top brass blamed the deaths on a roadside blast from an improvised explosive device known as an IED.
Combined Joint Task Force Operation Inherent Resolve mourns the loss of coalition warriors Master Sergeant Jonathan Dunbar and Sergeant Matt Tonro, killed near Manbij, Syria, 29th of March. Our thoughts and prayers are with their families, friends and fellow troopers. Rest easy.
At the same time, President Trump declared victory over ISIL.
We'll be coming out of Syria like very soon. Let the other people take care of it now.
And promised to leave Syria. By that point, the American and British military's anti-terror group missions in Syria had amassed many critics, calling for their withdrawal for operating on Syrian territory without consent from Damascus. But that's not how the headlines saw it.
Get out. Army Master Sergeant Jonathan Dunbar and Sergeant Matt Tonro of the UK, both killed in an IED blast while on a classified mission to capture or kill an ISIS operative.
5 others were wounded in that operation. We reported last week President Trump says U.S. troops will be leaving Syria very soon.
Sergeant Jonathan Dunbar from Austin, Texas, died of an IED on the same week that Trump is saying these things. And
freezing funding that is used to move.
Even the United States' own special envoy to Syria used the soldiers' deaths as an opportunity to remind the world, and perhaps specifically Donald Trump, that the war on ISIL was not over.
ISIS still remains, and we are committed to finishing the campaign against ISIS.
But more than a year later, it's emerged that the men lost their lives in markedly different circumstances. Not the result of an ISIL device, but because of the accidental detonation of an explosive being carried by a colleague. A tragedy now regarded as a so-called friendly fire incident.
It was initially believed that Sergeant Tonro was killed by enemy action. However, subsequent investigation concluded that Sergeant Tonro was killed by the accidental detonation of explosives carried by coalition forces.
Even though those soldiers' deaths can no longer be used as a reason to justify that presence, it's unlikely that calls for Western nations to leave Syria will be heard by leaders committed to sending more personnel into a war zone.
Questions that should be asked at the time, what are we doing in Syria? What are British troops doing in Syria? What are they? Who are they fighting? Who are they fighting for and against? Are they there legally? Are they breaching international law? Were they invited by the Syrian government? So we can kind of overlook the illegality of the British and the US and French troops in Syria. And that also means we can actually look past exactly what their mission is, even their stated mission, supposedly fighting ISIS. But we don't hear any reports of engagements between coalition troops and ISIS. Very, very few published engagements anyway. The goal of the US is to keep fighting wars, and the goal of the UK and France is to continue that well-trodden road of being America's bleating little lamb.